Hi, I'm Sophie, and welcome to my world. You know, when I was a little kid, my grandmother was an amazing knitter. She used to make all kinds of things, Afghans, hats, you name it. And I was always really intrigued by what she did, but she never taught me how to do it. And then as I got older and I started doing parties, the kids would do this thing they called finger knitting, which I also thought was really cool. And they would try to teach me, and I never could seem to pick it up. But I have come up with something new. It is a finger knitting loom, and it helps me to do my own finger knitting. And all you really need for it is a TP tube and a few popsicle sticks. So I'm going to teach you how to make your very own finger knitting loom right now. So for this project, we're going to need our hot glue gun. If you wanted to do this with regular Elmer's glue or glue dots, that's fine. You're just going to need to make sure that you give enough time for them to dry really nice and solid. We're going to need some scissors. We're going to need 4 popsicle sticks, a couple rubber bands, a TP tube, and of course, some yarn. I love this yarn because it changes colors, so I've got color changing yarn here. So the first thing I'm going to do is make my loom. And to make my loom, all I'm going to do is take one of these fabulous popsicle sticks and glue it with about a tip of a finger over. So that's about an inch right there at the top there. So I'm just going to take a line of glue and I'm just going to glue it right down TP tube, leaving 1 inch at the top there, between 3/4 and 1 inch. It's up to you. Okay, now I'm going to flip it over, and directly across from it on the opposite side, I'm going to glue another popsicle stick. And again, I'm going to leave about an inch at the top. Now I'm going to give another 1/4 turn here, and I'm going to place my 3rd popsicle stick right in the middle there. And I leave 1 inch above. And flip it over. And final, directly across from the orange, and I place the green popsicle stick with 1 inch up. There we go. And there's my loom. Now, I'm going to take a rubber band, and I'm going to place it at the bottom, just like that. I've wrapped it around twice because this is a pretty big rubber band. This is going to be my yarn holder. And so this is not like super important. If you don't have this, don't get too upset. But if you've got one, it's great because it's going to help to hold the yarn. All right, I'm going to take my yarn and spool out a little bit of it here. And the first thing I'm going to do is take the one end and I'm going to drop it down in through the toilet paper tube so that it comes out the bottom. There we go. And I'm going to give myself some extra here. See this? I'm going to give myself at least, 2 lengths, 2 TP tube lengths. And I'm just going to take it, place it underneath the rubber band, and just pull it up. So I've got a little bit extra here. See that? That's probably about a length of a TP tube, just hanging off like a tail. Okay, now here's the one little tricky part. It's getting this to go the right way. So what you want to do is start with 1 peg, whichever peg you want. I'm going to start with the orange one here. And you go to the left of the peg and wrap it around so that it is going counterclockwise. So I'm starting to the left side of the peg, I wrap it around the front, and then I bring it behind. Now, what I'm going to do is come to the front of the purple, to the back of the purple, and wrap it around the front of the purple. To the back of the green, around the green. To the back of the red, around the red. Okay, so let's do that one more time just because this is the confusing part. Once you get this, it gets really simple. So start to the left of your orange, wrap it around the front of the orange, bring it behind and to the left side. See, that's your left of your purple. Wrap it around the purple. Bring it behind to the left side of the green. Wrap it around the front of the green. To the left side of the red. Wrap it around the red And now you're ready to weave. Okay, so if you look at this, can you see that? See how it goes? Baroop, baroop, baroop. It kind of makes like a picture frame. All right, now we're going to start to weave. What I'm going to do, and this is the reason why I left a little extra here, is I'm going to pull this so it's a little bit slack. See that little bit of slack? I pulled that so it's a little slack. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my weaving string. I place it on top of my orange string that I started. And I'm going to pull this string up and over. Now, once I've done that, I can pull this taunt down here. So I just pulled that tail now. All right, now I'm going to give myself a quarter turn, go to the purple, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm bringing this little piece of yarn up and over the new piece of yarn. Again, up and over. And in front here, up and over. And I continue with this technique. Up and over, up and over, up and over. Now, you always want to make sure you go in front. Don't go behind, always go in front. And up and over, and up and over. Now you do want to make sure that you're keeping tension on this string. This is the string that's coming from your yarn skein. You want to keep tension there so that you're getting it locked into place. Up and over. And again, up and over. Now you can see what's happening in there. It's kind of like a spider web. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this tail, and that's going to pull it down in there a little bit and tighten it up. And now I'm going to keep going. Up and over and up and over. Now the thing is, as you get faster and faster and faster at this, your weaving will start to grow. And this is when you can just make it as long as you want it to be. And like every, maybe 4 or 5 times around. As you can see, I'm starting to get the hang of this, right? Up and over, up and over. Now, if it does that, did you see that, how it popped off there? That's all. Just push it back down on again. Oop, okay, so this goes here. The purple is there. Push back down and over. And just go back and catch that stitch that you lost. Sometimes that happens if you don't keep the pressure on there. So keep it up and over. There we go. Up and over. Okay, now what I want to show you is that you pull this, and I don't know if you can see in there, but it's starting to make like a chain. It's making a nice long chain. And you're just going to keep going around and around and around and around till this gets to the length you want. Now, I've got mine here that I've been working on before. Let me just take this rubber band off. Okay, so I'm at this point here where I'm going to go up and over, up and over. I'm going to go one more time around here. Up and over, up and over. Okay, now, as you can see, I've got my chain and it's coming out the bottom. So this one is about, I'd say that's maybe like 7, 8 inches long, which is perfect for making like a little bracelet. So I'm going to end here. And to do my ending, what I'm going to do is just snip this, giving myself, again, another, 12 inches of extra. Because what I want to do now is I want to tie it off. Now, to tie it off, what I do is very carefully slide the first loop off and thread this extra piece of thread through that hole. And now I slip myself to the next one, slip it off, make sure that you get your finger there so you can catch that little loop, slide it through. Go to the next one and slide it through. This is where it's nice to have this colored yarn. I pulled the last one off here, and I'm going to slide it through. The colored yarn helps to see what stitch you're on here, and slide it through. There we go. So now all you do is pull that, and that tightens up the end, and you pull at the other end, and you've got yourself a nice long finger knitted chain. And that's all there is to it. Finger knitting made simple. Now remember, you can make this as long as you want. You can do short and wrap it around, tie it for a bracelet. You could do medium length and do it for your collar or for your neck. Or you can just keep going and going and going and going and going for as long as you want. And then you can make it into anything, including a long scarf. For more great ideas that won't keep you tied up in knots, come and check us out at Sophie-World.com.